Hi guys, this is Himanshu Sharma and welcome back to my course. And now we'll be getting started with our HTML and CSS first because first we'll define our front end, then we'll slowly move to the back end. So before starting, let's do some installation for both front end and back end. For front end, I'll be using some of the text editor like Sublime Text and Atom, right? And for the back end, you need to download XAMPP, right? You can just write download XAMPP, right? XAMPP and download it here. And of course you would have to also download PHP, right, because you will be using PHP, and don't forget to add PHP at your path. Okay, so PHP first you will download XAMPP. So this is, click here, it would be downloaded automatically, then run through its setup. You know how to download, right? So then download PHP downloads, and then download the latest version of PHP, right? So that would be it. Now let's get started with the front end, right? So first of all, we'll create a new folder, which would be called, let's call it project form. Okay, so project form, and we'll add this folder to our Sublime text editor. You can use any text editor you want, or if you don't want to use any text editor, you can work on Notepad as well, right? It's not necessary. So in this project form, we'll create new file, and we'll be creating a form, right? We'll be first of all creating a sign up form, right? So Control S, I'll name it as signup.html, right? Signup.html, and we'll be creating another new file, which would be called style.css, right, which would be having the style. So I'm gonna move the style to the next window, right, and shut this down. Okay, so let's get started with our HTML. So let's do some basic HTML, right? So HTML5, yeah, you can write this as well. I have used this. There are some perks of using text editor which I'm using right now. So your title would be sign up, right? And your href, the link style sheet, would be style.css, right? So first of all, let's create a main, right? And this main would have a background image. So let's download a background image from Google. Okay, we'll write background image. Okay, let's download a simple background images, and yeah, this one. Save image as. We'll go to desktop, we'll go to our project form, and we'll create a folder here, a new folder, which would be named images, right? And inside this, I'll save this file as back.jpg or jpeg. Save, right? It's downloaded. This picture has been downloaded. It's saved as back.jpg, right? So we have downloaded this background image, and here we'll first of all write margin is 0 pixel, and padding is also 0 pixel, because HTML does have some default margin and padding, right? So after this, we'll be creating the background image, right? So we'll be typing main, and inside that we'll be typing background, not color, only background, and URL. This would be images slash back.jpg. Save it, right? And now let's view our file. Okay, there's some issue. The issue is that we haven't defined the width and height of the image, right? So first of all, we have to define the width and height of the image. So width would be 100%, and height would be 100 VH vertical height. Save this and boom, tada, you have your background image. Right, you have your background image. The second thing is, of course, creating a white div, a section where you will have different input types, right? So the different input types will create a div, okay, and we'll name it I don't know, pop. We'll name it pop, okay, and this dot pop will have background white, background white, right? This would have background white, and this would have background white. This would have a border radius of 4 pixel, and it would be having a width of 500 pixel, and height of around 400 pixel, right? So let's have a look. Yeah, you have this. Now we have to bring it to the center, right? For bringing it to the center, we'll go to the main again. We'll say display flex, right? That means flexible. We want the contents to be displayed flexible throughout the screen, and justify content center, and align item also center, right? Yeah, so you have it on the center, right? How does it look? I think it's look fine. Well, what about we define 500? Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good now. It's kind of looking like a Microsoft thing, Microsoft login page, right? So without any ado, I'm thinking of creating a border box. I'm thinking of creating a box shadow. So let's create a box shadow of, I don't know, 2 pixel, 4 pixel, and let it be gray, right? It should be light gray, right? So we'll be using RGBA and 0, 0, 0, 0.5. The A is basically for opacity, right? What about 0.3? And we'll increase this to 5 and 5. Yeah, how does it look? I hope it's visible, right? So this is what we have created, a pop-up box. Now of course we have to define some contents, right? So let's define some contents. Pop will create another div known as pop form, right? And inside this we'll have some inputs, right? Inside this we'll have a header first of all, which would be aligned here. So a header would look like a new user or something like that. For icons and for other things, I'll be using Font Awesome CDN. Font Awesome is a website which provides you icon which can be used in an HTML, right? So I'm getting to Font Awesome, but before that you have to insert a CDN. So I'm getting a CDN for my previous project. So open with Notepad. Yeah, this is the Font Awesome CDN. I'll be sharing these resources like images and CDN. So I'll go back to Sublime and add this, right? And then now we'll be adding some icon, right? So I'm thinking of user. Yeah, new user. Yeah, user plus. First of all, we are creating a sign up, right? Sign up screen which would have this icon. So I'll do it label and tada. So when we go back, you see it's here. So we have to go back to our CSS and write text align center. Yeah, sorry about that. Text align center. Tada, you have it. And yeah, now we'll name this label as well. We'll name it class is equals to heading, right? And we'll go to header dot heading, and we'll increase its font size, let it be 42 pixel. How about that? Sorry, 42 pixel. Yeah, it has increased. And we'll give it some padding. Okay, we'll give it some padding, some spacing. I think it might require some spacing, so I'll go to padding, and padding would be 10 pixel. 10 pixel, not much. It's not getting 10 pixel. Okay, no problem. I don't think it requires much. Yeah, and we'll be coloring it. So color would be dark blue. Yeah. That's good. That's looking good, right? So we have created this. Now we will have to create the form. So we have pop-up form. We'll again create a div class is equals to form, right? And inside this we'll have a form, right? So the form would be created in the next video. This is just the representation of how I'm doing everything, organizing everything, how good I know CSS and HTML. So thank you for watching this video. Wait for the next video where I'll be explaining you about the form. Okay, thank you for watching.